Welcome back to Razmafzar TV. My name is Manouchehr Moshtagh Khorasani. This video I'm going to make it because I talked to my team members and as they administer my page now, Razmafzar, and a Polish follower of us from Poland, he asked a question, the Polish follower, about how to read the dates on academic sources, or in academic sources, how to read the dates. Well, he specifically was referring to Persian Archery and Swordsmanship, my book, which was published in 2013, about the manuscripts I used there. He, for example, the reference was specifically to Shahnameh, Book of Kings, and also Zafarname Naderi, and as far as I remember, also Adab al-Harb al-Shuja'ah. Okay, before I go here and explain the manuscripts which are, for some people, confusing, first of all, this book was reviewed by many Iranian studies scholars, among them Professor Santos from University of Vienna, and also the Hungarian professor and others. But before I go and explain what it means, let me just explain to you Adab al-Harb wa Shuja'ah. The question was the reference regarding the customs of war and bravery, the Persian manuscript here, whether it was or it is a period manuscript. This book, you see, it is the complete Adab al-Harb wa Shuja'ah. I used parts of it in my book, Persian Archery and Swordsmanship, and referenced it. Now, the person in question from Poland asked but the book which is referenced here, meaning this, is published in 20th century. Yes, of course it is published in 20th century, because this book is published by a publishing house, Erbal, in 20th century, but it is the exact copy of Adab al-Harb wa Shuja'ah. What does it mean then, Adab al-Harb wa Shuja'ah? This book, which is a 12th century manuscript, I'm going to show it to you now, some pages of it, so you can look at it. This is Adab al-Harb wa Shuja'ah, and if you take a look at the right page, or here in these pages, you see they have footnotes. These are the annotation part. As you can see in these pages, the top of the top is the exact copy of the manuscript, which is typed and published. And here, Dr. Hansari, who is an Iranian studies professor, annotated it. The same as I in my articles on my academia page, together with Beat, the Wire, I translated many archery manuscripts, Persian 8 now, and then we annotated them. The same concept. So this is the same thing. Adab al-Harb wa Shuja'ah is not only about fighting methods, is about also making crucible steel, is also about classification of weapons, is also about archery, is also about making bows, is also about warfare, how to fight on battlefields, battle formation. This is the book, which is the book has not been translated into English as far as I know, the complete ones. Mac even translated the archery part of it, and I translated some parts of it and used it here in my book. But I'm going to show it to you. Again, this is exact copy of the 12th century customs of war and bravery. So, if you refer to this copy, you are not referring 20th century book, you are referring to the exact copy of the 12th century. For those of you who do not still possibly cannot understand what it means, this book by Hans Talhofer was also published, printed by in 20th century. But as you know, people who are in HEMA and imitate the fighting or these things or explanations, and also these plates which are here depicted. No, this was written by Talhofer and reproduced as a facsimile. Now, Let me show you one more thing. This is Tarikh Jahangoshay Naderi. This is the history of world conquest of Nader. Now, this one you see, which I also use as a reference, this I'm going to show it to you. Now, this is the exact copy, the facsimile, no annotation, no footnotes in Tarikh Jahangoshay Naderi, as you see here. This is a facsimile, meaning the whole manuscript is photographed and printed. There is no annotation to it. So one by one. Now, if I come and refer to it, it's from, this manuscript was written in approximately 1757 in Gregorian, in European year. And this is what is happening. So although this was printed in 20th century and Dr. Borumand wrote an introduction to it, this doesn't make a manuscript of 20th century. But the book printed on the manuscript, which is facsimile there. The difference between the two, here is also one-to-one manuscript of 12th century Adab al-Harb al-Shujaa. The only difference is below in footnotes, it is annotated. What does annotation mean? Annotation means certain words go through semantic shift. So you need to understand, they also not only go through semantic shift, we have a syntax shift, we have also a pragmatic shift if you talk about linguistic levels. 3 levels of linguistic change, language change. Regarding the Shahnameh, this Shahnameh is an exact copy, which I reference in my books. So Shahnameh was written in 10th century, is an exact copy of Ferdowsi. This is the Moscow manuscript, meaning the original manuscript of this is in Moscow, which is or was in the past or still is considered as one of the best copies of Shahnameh. Now we have one annotated version, and this is also, you see that it is an exact copy of it, and is an annotated version by Professor Khalaghi Motlagh, an Iranian professor, which many people now they say is even better than Moscow Shahnameh. So this is the book was printed in the 20th century, but it's an exact copy of Shahnameh. This time it's not a facsimile, this time is typed and printed, but with no difference to the manuscript, because it's an academic work. The same as in Adab al-Harb al-Shujaa. I come back to it. This one is facsimile, photographed, like scanned and reprinted. If I come here, for those of you, for example, Fiore de Liberi, this one, which was published in Italy and I bought it, and this is an exact copy of it, Italian. And when you come what Mr. Tobler wrote on Ringek and German medieval swordsmanship, an excellent book by the way, Mr. Tobler interprets it and adds his own interpretation. Now, I always thought actually that this is, as it was clear among us academics, that people understand what it means. But I decided to just write, translate and publish the manuscripts which are used here. Let me just explain one more thing here. One more manuscript which is used here in different parts. I'm going to publish it soon. This is a manuscript by Sharif Muhammad, the son of Ahmad Mehdi Hosseini, from the period of Shah Ismaili Safavid or Safavid period. This is about archery, sword sharpening, it's about lance combat, it's about spear fighting and so on, wrestling and so on and so on. This is translated and used in the book. And now let me just show you. This was the original manuscript, which was never ever been printed as a book. And I have, as you know, access to many manuals and manuscripts. I published 8 of them, original ones from Persian Archery. And this one, which is published and used as a reference in Persian Archery and Swordsmanship, I'm going to publish it one by one. What I'm going to do, I'm going to do like this book, Tarikh Jahangoshay Naderi. So those of you who read Persian and you need to learn the language, as I said many times, if you want to do an analysis on any culture, but you see that, and I'm going to provide the translation. and then everyone can take a look at it and make his or her own interpretation, their own interpretation. This is the exact copy of the pages of the manuscript, which is kept in the library. That's what it means. So, the today video is how to read the dates on academic sources. For those of you who are want to know and ask us how these things work. Well, thank you very much and see you soon.